So thank you for tuning in for Amy Sings Amy, the guitar set part 2. So if you joined me last week, we traveled through songs from the late 80s into the mid 90s, about, through the Plain Folk Band era. So we're going to pick up right where we left off at the last time. And, Lou is in the house, so that means that I will be able to...
Hello.
Yes, that's Lou. That means that I'll be able to interact more with you because she can read the commentary and we can say hi. And if you have questions, then I can answer your questions. And if you are having a good time watching this and you have a friend out there that you're like, I think they would like this, please share this, share the page, start a watch party. And if you have missed any of the previous segments, I've been having a great time. This is my 5th Thursday night broadcast. I had 2 Joni Mitchell shows, and then I had Amy Sings Piano, and then I had the guitar part 1. Those are all up on my YouTube page, which is Amy Myers Videos, all one word, .com, or no, Amy Myers Videos at YouTube. So feel free to go and watch those there, or you can scroll back through on my Facebook page and see them, but it might be easier just to go to the YouTube channel. So if you tuned in, like last week, we left off with Plain Folk Band's Ashbury Hill, right? So I'm going to start off with a song that I actually wrote around that same period. I wrote this song in 1994, but it didn't get released until 1997 on The Wheel. So, Lou, can you hand me the Guild guitar, and we will get rolling?
Yes, certainly.
All right. Thank you.
I think you have some fans that set their watches by your show. We've got the big fans, Sierra, Kate, Rick,
All
Jill,
right.
and Michael Ross.
All right. It's a
Michael
party.
Michael Ross.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad you guys are back here with me.
Hi,
I feel
Michael.
the love. I feel it, man. And Michael, yeah, I've got some stories
He wants
coming
you to
later.
talk about the flatbed.
Oh yeah, it's coming. You tuned into the right show. Oh, so this song is called Bound, and it's the first song on The Wheel, and that's what we're going to start with today.
And a hello to Lori Moitié.
Oh, Lori, so glad you're here.
Just tell RJ to play the bass.
It's all about finding, but you can't take the pain. We're moving by quicker than a late summer rain. We're bound to everything, bound by the scheme, bound to everything so clean. Now walk out on your freedom, going down to the stream. You'd put your whole head in if you thought you'd come clean. We're bound to everything, bound by the scheme, bound to everything so clean. I think that I love you, but all that can change. So real in the moment, but so wild in the range. We're bound to everything, bound by the scheme, bound to everything so clean, so clean, so clean, yeah, so clean, yeah, so clean, yeah. That's our virtual clap track there. We got it down here. After 4 broadcasts, we're starting to work out the kinks and the tweaks, so to speak. So if you're just tuning in, that song was called Bound, and that was on the Wheel that was released in 1997. And if you were with me when I did the piano set, I did a lot of piano songs from the Wheel, and I talked a little bit about the artwork that my friend Audrey did. She did a picture or a drawing for each of the songs on the album, and they were all in black and white because it was very expensive to do these. I'm going to show this one, to do these in color. And so this was the picture for Bound. And I actually happen to have, what do you know? I happen to have the original artwork right here. So that's what it looks like in color before putting the words on. That nice little shade of blue. Those of you that know me well know I like blue. And you might be wondering, well, why are there violins and a cello on that? Well, my friend Adrienne Biggs, who was in the Plain Folk band that we talked about last week, she played violin on that song on the recording. So that's why it's on the picture. Actually, before I move on, I'm gonna hold this. You know what? I think it'll. There we go. It makes a nice picture. There were a couple of pictures from that Plain Folk band era that I meant to show last week, and so I have them because they're worth seeing. So, the Plain Folk band was myself and Robert Preston on guitar and Adrienne Biggs on violin, and Jerry Slavonia early on was on guitar, but then Rob was on guitar and so forth and so on. But this is a great photo that I wanted to show you guys. So there's Robert and there's myself. This was taken at the bottom of the hill. So if you live in the Bay Area, you probably know about the bottom of the hill. It's in Potrero Hill, and it's a lot of famous groups.
Who's the child holding the acoustic guitar?
Oh, that would be me. This was many years ago. So we played the bottom of the hill, and we played
jailbait picture.
We played Hotel Utah a lot. That was our favorite spot. In fact, that was the first spot I ever played in San Francisco. So, and then, of course, my very, very, very favorite picture. I love this picture. So this was taken at the Haight Street Fair in 1994. And there I am rocking out, and you can see Big Tim is in the background. He plays trombone. I don't know if you can see the trombone. You can kind of see it coming out of his mouth. But I have to tell the story about how we got that gig, because, it wasn't easy to get booked at the Haight Street Fair. There was a lot of competition. And so we thought, you know what? We've got to do something that's going to stand out. So the guy that booked the fair, his name was Ed, and he worked at Haight-Ashbury Music on Haight Street. And Rob and I both knew Ed because we worked in the industry, meaning we worked in the sales industry. So I worked for Audio Images, which sold pro audio equipment, which explains why I actually know so much about equipment. And Robert worked for a rep firm, and Ed worked for Haight-Ashbury Music, a retail store. The rep firms were the middle guy that represented the manufacturers. So like Shure makes microphones, Mackie makes mixers, etc. And so the reps would go and visit all the stores. That's how I got to know Rob. And but even though we knew him, that was not a shoe-in for us to get to play the Haight Street Fair. So we came up with this idea to rent a flatbed truck and get the band on the truck and drive by and park in front of Haight-Ashbury Music on a Saturday afternoon and serenade Ed. Yeah, we really did this. And we had a big sign that said, "Ed, we want to play the fair." And I have video footage of this, and I've been digitizing it, and soon I've got to get it up to Facebook because it is priceless, so priceless. Ed came out and literally was in tears, crying, because nothing like that had ever been done. And our buddy, Michael Ross, who's with us right now, Michael Ross, who did the...
He just said with the balcony, whatever that means.
With the balcony. He's going to have to explain that. But so Michael Ross, who did the artwork, he was the getaway car driver. Well, no, he drove the flatbed truck, and he intercepted with the police. Yes, the police came, and he, very calmly told them, they're just a bunch of kids here playing some music, trying to get a gig. They'll be out of here in no time. So he took care of the cops and drove the flatbed truck. It was, really awesome. So I'll try to get that footage up onto Facebook so you guys can enjoy it. Okay.
Hotel Utah with the balcony he was talking about.
Oh,
upstairs
right.
Down.
I know. And Hotel Utah very recently shut down.
Again.
It's
like the third time.
Well, I know, but I think this time it's for real. Okay, so
much history at that place.
Oh, I know. So we're moving on from that era, and now I'm going to move into the next album that I did in 1998, which was called Open Road. And Open Road, yes. So Open Road was produced by Scott Matthews, and you might remember me telling the story on the piano set about how I was hooked up with Scott Matthews. He's a famous producer in Marin, through John Martell, who had come to see the Wheel CD release concert. And so we did this EP, and there were 5 songs on it. This time, Sooner or Later, Open Road, Reaching Out, and Looking Back. I'm going to do This Time, which is the first track on this album. And
extended play.
Oh, extended play. And then we'll talk a little bit more about it. If I can find my... Oh, there it is. Okay.
That's not the pick that's sitting in the street?
No, it's not. The flat pick. Yes, and of course I am in open D, but now I'm capoed up, so I'm technically in open G.
You can take the teacher out of the classroom, but you can't take the classroom out of the teacher.
So true. All right, here we go. I'm having a blank. Oh yeah, now I know that. This is why I have the lyrics over there, just in case. Just when you think you are tough, the phone rings and you won't pick up. No, you won't pick up. And all of these things that are keeping me sheltered really mess me up. And I've cut myself into millions of pieces, and I'm spread so thin, just like a stick up. But I think it's all gonna come together this time. Yeah, I think it's all gonna come together this time. Yeah, I think it's all gonna come together this time. Yeah, I think it's all. Back in those days on a Saturday night, we would drink Bud Light and my RX-7, and all of these things you'd think will lead you to nothing. Well, they just show up, so they must mean something. And I wouldn't say that all my life has been pure, but I just can't give up. So don't give up on me, 'cause I think it's all gonna come together this time. Yeah, I think it's all gonna come together this time. Yeah, I think it's all gonna come together this time. Yeah, I think it's all. Some tickets I barely missed them 'cause the show sold out in a matter of minutes, and I'm supposed to be someplace now, but I'm not. I was in a rush, I forgot to call you, and all of this talk about this beautiful day, but we are on to something. Yeah, I think it's all gonna come together this time. Yeah, I think it's all gonna come together this time. Yeah, I think it's all gonna come together this time. Yeah, I think it's all. It takes your mind, takes your heart, takes your soul. It takes your mind, takes your heart, takes your soul. It takes your mind, takes your heart, takes your soul. It takes your mind, heart, soul. It takes your mind, takes your heart, takes your soul. It takes your mind, takes your heart, takes your soul. It takes your mind, takes your heart, takes your soul. It takes your mind, takes your heart, takes your soul. That's all right. So that was This Time from Open Road, and so that song really was very representative of kind of the place I was at.
Your RX-7 got stolen?
No. Oh, wait, who said that? Yvette? Oh, right. I know, in college. That's a whole other story. Wow, you remembered that. I know. That was terrible, wasn't it?
Did it ever come back?
Well, yeah, but it was never the same.
They never are.
I know. They just once, yeah. Yeah, my RX-7 got stolen and driven around for a joyride and smashed into a pole. And it was never the same after that. But yeah, I've got good memories of that car. Yeah. But back to the theme of the song about everything coming together. So this was 1998.
It's a catchy little tune.
Yeah, it's got a little catchy. It's got a catchy melody to it. So in 1998, I had just, I was on the heels of the success of The Wheel, and I had this big time producer, and he was going to shop me down in L.A. And this was the time that Tori Amos and Sheryl Crow, Sarah McLachlan were big on the scene. And I just felt like everything was coming together, and it was going to happen for me.
Was it post Natalie Merchant and Indigo
Girls? No, it was post, but I mean they were on the heels of them, I would say. So the Indigo Girls and Natalie Merchant kind of paved that way, but there was a big explosion nonetheless of female artists on the scene.
Or was she after?
Well, we covered a lot of Melissa Etheridge in college, so I would say Melissa Etheridge was more the Indigo Girls time period. We'll let our audience weigh in on that one. But so speaking of Sarah McLachlan, she started the Lilith Fair, if you guys remember that. And I actually was reading this earlier. I have a tidbit of information because I had forgotten this or maybe never knew it. But the reason why she started the Lilith Fair, now the Lilith Fair was like a traveling fair of female artists. And so there would be different headliners in each city. And there were 3 of them that happened in 97, 98, and 99. And the reason she became frustrated with concert promoters and radio stations that refused to feature 2 female musicians in a row. So, bucking the conventional industry wisdom, she booked a successful tour for herself and Paula Cole. That was another name. And the reason she called it Lilith, here is some trivia. Lou probably knows this. Lilith is from the Jewish lore that Lilith was the first woman who refused to be subservient to Adam. So, if you didn't know that, you'll learn something new today.
That's also how they picked the name for the character in Frasier. Remember, his wife was Lilith.
I did not know that.
The other one, Cheers.
Oh, and Cheers.
Well, and then Frasier.
Well, how about that? See? Look at that. Look, you didn't know that this was going to be both an informative and entertaining show.
We actually once in a while read the Bible. We don't just stand there and hold it up in the air.
Oh, thank you, Donald. All right, we're not going to get too political right now. Okay, so why do I bring up the Lilith Fair? Yes. Well, in each city, they would have a stage that where they would feature 2 or 3 local indie artists. And here in San Francisco, they had a contest. And you could submit, and there were, I think there were over 800 submissions, and they chose 20 finalists. And the finalists performed in a big concert that was sponsored by the radio station Alice in Union Square. You see where this is going. I was one of the finalists in 1998 with that song this time. So that song got me there. So everything was coming together, right? I didn't end up being one of the 2 chosen. I think it was Beth Lissick and Noelle Hampton that do you remember Noelle?
Shoreline?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
They were all at Shoreline.
I know. I did the Wi-Fi network for it.
Well, there you go. See?
Because they only wanted women.
Yeah. That makes sense. So there's a little bit, if you didn't know that, hey, so Lou was saying that song was catchy. Well, obviously the people that chose the finalists thought it was catchy too. All right, so we're going to now move on and play some more music. I promise there's going to be more music playing, but I think the stories are worth telling. The album that I did right after Open Road was called Crossing. There's a poster right there. And Crossing, if you watched the piano set show that I did, I talked about how I had recorded a bunch of songs for the wheel, and there were too many to go on the wheel, but there were a lot of leftover ones that just didn't really have a home. So I had about 7 songs that I didn't really know what to do with, and I didn't want to release, I wanted to release an album that had more than 7 songs. And after Open Road, I was newly inspired, and I wrote some new songs, and I went back into the studio and produced them myself, and then I had 10 songs. Woo! So I'm going to do one of the songs that was from the wheel recording stuff called Crossing, and that's the first one, and then I'll do one that I wrote later and pieced together with that. And this Crossing is, again, this was released in 2000, so we're crossing over, new century. It's a metaphor for moving on, rethinking relationships that aren't working, things like that. You'll pick up. You're a smart audience. As a little bird, I came across this crossing in the road. I'd been up about 1,000 years when I came back to the earth, and I almost had my wits about to love. And I know there's something better than this, and I know they're waiting for something better than this. And this little boy, he came to me and asked me, could he try? Come inside and drink my wine, 'cause I am gonna go far. Why don't you open up and stay with me this time? But I know there's something better than this. And I know they're waiting for something better than this. And I know there's loving better than this. And I know they're waiting for something better than this. As a little bird, I came across this crossing in the road. You got to find a new one, you know.
I've downloaded like 5 different apps. Some of them don't work.
Okay.
Some of them have an ad in the middle of it, so you hit it and then the ad comes up, and then there's no way to even pay for the full.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I
got you.
Have you met me? You think I haven't researched this? Like,
No,
15
I
ways
hear
to
ya.
Sunday?
All right. Welcome, everybody. So, how's everybody doing out there? Good?
We could do something.
What's that?
We could do something else that's like
No, that's all right.
fuzzy.
So, cheers. I know it's been a rough week, and I have things to say. No, to say about that, but
I don't know how to stop it.
okay. I opened a Pandora's box here, didn't
I
I?
think we have to wait for it to be over.
Well, why don't you move away from the mic? Step away from the mic. Thank you. If you just joined us, we are. I'm Amy Myers. Hi, welcome. Thank you for being here. And I forgot to mention that you guys have been so loving, and those of you that have already tipped, you do not have to tip again, please. I appreciate you just being here.
Rick Cuevas, do not tip. We will send the money back.
But it has been very helpful. In fact, I just got a new capo because I had one, and it's good to have two. And I bought a new guitar stand. It's not here yet, which is why one of my guitars is on the floor. But it will be here soon. So, those things, they help. And but
that is now the Rick Cuevas capo.
There you go. You now have it's officially the RC capo. There you go. I'm going to do one more song from Crossing, and this was a song that was written after the Wheel period, and this one is called Cross to Bear. It was actually written, what does it say? In 1998. Oh, okay. That was a good year. I wonder if the wine was good that year. True story. I opened the door one morning and there was a Jehovah's Witness. How many people? Very good. How many people has that? That was good.
Wasn't it?
Has that happened to? Right? And they're very pleasant. I'm already a spiritual person, as you know. I went to the Park Cities Baptist Church, and I consider myself spiritual. So I enjoyed speaking with them, and
Spiritual.
and then I got a song out of it, and it was really just I think the song speaks for itself, and it's called "Cross to Bear." I got stopped the other day by a woman who was stocking up so she'd be ready for the day that she believed would come. And I sometimes go to church 'cause I like to hear the choir. No matter how much you eat and how much that you sleep and how much that you break down, there's a time to be weak, to be top of the heap, to be lost and then be found. So steal it back from anyone who wants to bring you down. We've all got our cross to bear. You can hear all of the testimonies from the people on your TV and your radio. And I sometimes go to church 'cause I want to be amazed. No matter how much you preach and how much that you reach and how much that you fall down, there's a time to be bad and times to wish that you had, and times you just want to feel good. So feel it and be tries to bring you down. We've all got our cross to bear. We've all got our cross to bear. We've all got our cross to bear. Yeah, we've all got our cross to bear. Yeah, we've all got our cross to bear. We've all got our cross to bear. A different clapping.
Yeah, but if I do it again, it'll give an ad.
Oh, or more clapping. All righty. Okay, move away from the mic. Move away.
I hit pause.
Yeah, do hit pause. Shall we say hello?
Yeah, there's a couple of
See
new
what's
names
going on.
in
All
here
right,
that I haven't
okay.
seen before, and that was quite a lot. So you can't really oops, you can't really interrupt. Otherwise, we'll never get through them all. We've got Missy, Floyd, Seward, Lynn Waters, Minna.
Missy Minna. Oh wow. Okay.
Minna from
Drowsy Chaperone.
Drowsy
Wait,
Chaperone.
did you say Lynn Waters?
Lynn Waters.
Oh wow, that's a high school. Wow. Okay. Well, hello, Lynn.
And then we've got Rosalind Haig Foster. We've seen her before.
What? Roz? Girl, what you doing? You should be working on those mixes. I'm telling. I should be working on those mixes.
Missy Mowell. Again.
Oh, hi, Missy.
Missy Mowell.
We love Missy. She's my old bud.
Laura Uecki.
No, from she costumes and backstage with Drowsy.
Of course. Laura
Yeah, and
from
we walked to Bart
backstage.
together.
Yes,
Hi,
our
Laura.
Bart person.
I'm so glad you tuned in.
Yvette
Thank
is
you.
back.
Yes, Yvette, my old
Shannon.
college roommate.
Shannon Case.
Shannon. Well,
Oh, here's
Shannon from Sorted Lives. I hope you saw the.
Shannon Beyond Case from Sorted Lives.
Yes, she was Nolita.
No, Lita, never
Yeah.
mind. Oh.
Man, I hope Oregon's treating you well. Did you see Sorted Lives? The live that I'm sure you did.
The table read or
The table
read-through
read or the
Zoom
read-through,
read
yeah.
or whatever you want to call it.
It was awesome.
Oh, we've got Emil saying hello to both
Oh, hi,
of us.
Emil.
Our guitar buddy.
Emil, I'm so glad you tuned in. We've been having so much fun, virtually. I've been having fun. Anyways.
Then we've got Jesse Waters.
Jesse,
and
I thank
all
you.
the way from San Francisco, Julie Minoff.
Julie! Yeah, I'm going to play your song. You know
And
it.
you better stick around, Julie. All the way from Dallas, Texas.
Libby Myers. Yoo-hoo! Libby and Bob, they made it.
Yeah, except she said her sound keeps cutting out, but I
Oh,
tested it.
no.
It's fine. Glenn Kasperzicki is back.
Glenn is back for more. Yes, and you didn't say with a vowel. Glenn
That was
Kasperzig.
an old joke.
I know.
Can't reuse the same
Glenn is
line.
back. Right on.
Oh, we've got Ana Maria Escobar.
Oh, no. I hope you're doing your show on Saturday. Anna and Tommy. Catch them Saturday, 8 p.m.
Rachel Garland, Mason Deal.
Rachel. Oh, yeah. Rachel, well, Live Oak, right? Live Oak sister. Thanks for tuning in. Say hi to Nate and Theo. Yeah.
Sing a song.
Oh, okay. Sing a song. I'm going to trade guitars. All right, but wait, hang on. But wait, there's more. So we are moving into strange and beautiful land. So I guess I'll put that there. Yeah. So after crossing, as you know, do you not know? Well, I worked in the tech industry. As IT, doing SQL database stuff, all that kind of, making good money, from like 98 through 2001 till the bust. And so I didn't really write a whole lot during that time period. But after all that, I got back to writing and wrote a lot in the early 2000s. And what came out of that was Strange and Beautiful. So I'm going to play Strange and Beautiful. No, well, I'm not. There's no song called Strange and Beautiful. But this was, I tried to play the market on the piano set, but Facebook kept crashing. Ironic, isn't it? And so I'm going to play the hit that everybody's been waiting for, I know. The hit, the guitar hit on this album was called Good, right? And so it's requested all the time, and it's always fun to play. I enjoy playing it, and it was covered. Yes, it was covered by a well-known artist, Austin singer-songwriter Sarah Hickman. My sister had gone to a concert of Sarah Hickman's and gave her the Strange and Beautiful CD after the concert and said, "Hey, my sister's a singer-songwriter. You should listen to this." You know, how often is somebody really going to listen? Well, now that I know Sarah, She's totally the type that would pop it into her car right away and listen. And she did. And she fell in love with the song Good and got in contact with me and said, hey, I would like to record that song and put it on my compilation CD that I'm releasing of all other artists. I'm covering different artists' songs that I love, and I would like to put it on Motherlode. And so, yes. So Sarah Hickman's version of Good is on Motherlode. Look up Sarah Hickman.
She'll be here next week to play it with you.
She's been. Oh, she will. No, she's been a very successful artist. Writes some really, really great songs. So, I need the other guitar for that one. So, yes, thank you. The Tacoma. Oh, no, Tacoma. It is the Tacoma. Oh, which incidentally, I bought that guitar, the Tacoma, in 1998. You didn't know that. So we're going to do Good because we're feeling good.
Oh, good.
Sing along, my friends. Oh, I have to say also there's a line in here because when I wrote it, I was 35. And so there's a line where I actually say I'm 35. Obviously, I can't get away with saying that anymore.
You should say 35. You're among friends.
So who knows what I'll say. I know I try to do too much some days. Sometimes I think I cannot be enough for you. And I know what I've got, I really do. And you know I won't walk out on you, no. But I think it's good just how it is, yeah. I think it's good just how it is, yeah. I am already 50. I know it's not old. Why can't I just let go of all these things that stop me? And I know it's all just in my head, and you talk me through it. And I think it's good just how it is, yeah. I think it's good just how it is, yeah. This is the solo section. And I'm trying to be the best for you, but tied to all these things I got to do, and you see it. But you don't ask for more, you just take me how I am. Sometimes you are black and I am white, we're distant. And sometimes when I don't know what to say, you say it. asking a lot when I don't always give, but you see me through it. And I think it's good just how it is. Yeah, I think it's good just how it is. Yeah, yeah. Not out there looking for nobody else. I'm not out there looking for nobody else. I'm not out there looking for nobody else. I'm not out there looking.
What a catchy song.
Oh.
You better not be out there looking for somebody else. I'm the one that's filming this.
Oh, that's true. That's you don't want to piss off the camera operator now, do we? Of course not. So
Luke Pyro's back.
well, hi Luke. How you doing? I hope you caught last week because you were very much a part of last week. Luke Pyro, it was the drummer in Plain Folk Band. Hey Luke, and he's now in Austin. How about that? And I just was talking about how Sarah Hickman, who is Austin-based, who lives in Austin, covered that song that I just did on her album Motherload. So look up Sarah Hickman. Go play some tunes with Sarah. You like that one. All right, so let's. I'm going to do a couple more songs from Strange and Beautiful, and so during that period when I don't remember exactly, but I got back into musical theater around 99, 2000. I grew up doing musical theater in middle school, high school. I went to Northwestern, studied theater. It was always the plan that I was going to be a star on Broadway. And, things happen and life takes different twists and turns. And I didn't make it to New York or to Broadway, but I still do theater. So I had taken a break from it and got back into it. And the way I got back into it was through a show called Cowgirls. And Cowgirls was an off-Broadway show. I wasn't in the off-Broadway production of it, but a theater company called Marin Theater Company out in Marin did Cowgirls.
What was the name of it again?
The show?
Yeah.
Cowgirls. Exactly. And so the premise was that the Cog Hill Trio was a classical trio. They got booked by mistake in a country bar because the owner thought that it was the Cowgirl Trio. Yeah. And so it all ends up that the owner takes them under her wing and teaches them how to morph into being country players. And yes. So they were looking for somebody that could act and sing and play guitar and play cello. So I got the part. Did I play cello? No. I lied. I thought, how hard could it be, right? And Steve Kahn, who played bass on some of the songs on The Wheel, was a cello player, and he later did orchestrations for The Market and Spring on Strange and Beautiful. I thought, well, Steve can teach me how to play cello. How hard could it be, right? Yeah. Well, I did have 6 months, but I learned to play cello, which is why I have a cello in my house that I don't play anymore. Lou's going to show you the cello that's sitting there. That the last time it got played, RJ played it. Thanks for playing that, RJ. It was beautifully played. Yeah, I would have to practice a lot to get that back into my hands. But so I I did several. I know. Here comes the pictures. This was a picture from Cowgirls. Yep. So I was in several different productions. I was the one at Marin Theater Company, and then I did 2 productions of it down in L.A., and then another one back here at Cine Rep in Walnut Creek. And this gal over here is Mary Murfitt. She wrote the show and was also in it in some of the productions that I was in. And there we are. So that's how I got back into theater. And I started auditioning, and anybody who is in theater, and I know there's some theater people out there watching, know how harrowing auditions can be. You get yourself all worked up, you put yourself out there, your heart's racing and panning, and you get 3 minutes, and then it's done, and then you wait, and you wait, and you wait. And sometimes it could be a month before you hear back, or maybe there's rounds of callbacks. It's grueling. It is not for the faint of heart. Trust me. It's the same like with job interviews, but
sometimes you never even hear from them.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, often. Crickets. Exactly. So this song was kind of in response to that. You'll hear me talk about the audition process. You'll hear me talk about the market crashing, the .com. So this basically was my life during this time period. It's called Over It. I am up for the leading role and I wait 2 weeks and then I get the call and it's not your fault, man. You're just the messenger and I know it sucks to be the bearer of bad news. But I am over it. I had this job in technology and the market crashed, the .coms fell and we all got laid off. But it's not your fault, man. You're just the messenger and I know it sucks to be the bearer of bad news. But I am over it. Yes, I am over it. Yes, I am over. Time again to plan the holidays and I tell my folks not coming home alone this time. It's not my fault, man. I'm just the messenger and it really sucks to be the bearer of bad news. I'll be the bearer of bad news. But I am over, I am over it. Oh, yes, I am over it. 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 All right. So, thank you again for tuning in. I've just played a couple of songs from the album Strange and Beautiful. Now, as a songwriter, I write stories. Sometimes I write stories about myself. Sometimes I write stories about people in my life or things that are happening in the world. There's all kinds of all kinds of reasons why one would write stories, and sometimes sometimes a song can be about something that holds true for a long time, and you can come back and sing the song, and it still has a place for you. It still might be something that you're going through or that you can relate to, and other times. Songs you change or you evolve, and where you were at when you wrote the song no longer really pertains, and it falls off the set list.
It's a record scratch.
Oh, okay. So, and sometimes it falls off the set list. But I think what I've realized is that when I get song requests for songs, I think, well, yeah, it may not resonate with me anymore, but there's a message in the song, and it could mean something for someone else. So as a songwriter, I feel like it's obligation is not really the right word, but it's my responsibility to deliver that song if someone's asking for it. So this song that I'm gonna do, I wrote when I was feeling that I wasn't being heard by my dad. And this was, when I was kind of coming into adulthood. And I think that that's a very common feeling that people have when they become an adult and your parent maybe is not quite ready to see you as an adult. And, cause they'll always see you as your, okay, we can, they'll always see you
as a baby crying.
Yeah, they'll always see you as their little girl or their little boy, and so I got derailed. Let me collect my thoughts here. And so whether or not this was what was going on my dad's side, I don't know, but it's the way I felt. And so this song was written from that space of just wanting to be heard, just wanting to be heard through my adult voice. It's funny. I remember, like, sometimes when I would have a strong opinion, my dad had this saying, and I'll never forget it. He'd say, "What have you been smoking?" As a way of saying, you don't know what you're talking about, or that's the way I took it. Right. Now, so to preface that, I've moved on. He's moved on. I'm very much an adult now. In fact, I'm parenting him most of the time, not most of the time, but much of the time. And he'll laugh. He's probably laughing right now. But I've had this song requested, and so I'm gonna play it for you. And so for anybody who is having, hey Lou, can you? I'm gonna trade out guitars. So for anybody that is in a space of feeling like they're not being heard by a parent, then this will be a song for you. And it's called How Long? No, do I do it here? Oh no, I do it down here. Oh, good thing I checked. And because I'm in open D, I gotta tune up. You are my Father, a man of his word. You are my Father, who can face up to this. You are my Father, successful in many ways, but just too weak to try. And how long will you stick to your guns? There is no winner. And how long till you love me and my life and are my Father? You are a good man, better than most. You have opinions, and I respect you most for that. And you have given life to me, and you've regretted setting me so free. And how long will you stick to your guns? There is no winner. And how long until you love me and my life and are my Father? You are my Father, who wishes that I would change. But do you know how bad that feels? I am your daughter, successful in many ways, in ways you cannot see. Stick to your guns. There is no winner. And how long till you love me and my life and are my Father? And the best of us is yet to come. If we can break. All undone for so long. So let's let the best of us that's yet to come on and break through. Come on and break through. Come on and break through. Come on. In spite of everything we are. All right. Thank you guys for hanging in there. That was from Strange and Beautiful. And hopefully it was meaningful for someone out there that might be having a hard time communicating. I'm happy to say that I have a very good relationship with my mom and my dad right now. So the only problem is that they're in Texas and I'm here, and the COVID situation is kind of made things difficult, at least for the last few months. So I'm hoping to get out there a chicken soon. Do we have anyone else saying hi or with any questions before we move into Lucky?
We've got Alicia Bulow, fine visual artist.
Well, how about that? So
mixed media, painting, drawing.
Well, now isn't that ironic? Because I was just about to jump into Lucky, and Alicia did the design, the CD cover, and the poster that you see behind me. So, Alicia, that's very good timing, I would say.
I hope she's still on.
Well, if she isn't, then she missed her seconds of fame.
But she could always play it back on YouTube.
That's true, or even on Facebook. So,
we have someone else all the way from San Francisco.
Who is that? Who?
Glenn Marr.
Glenn Marr. Well, I know Glenn and Julie. That song was for you. So, if you didn't catch it, then you can go back and watch it.
Who's Jim Fowler?
Jim Fowler. Jim Fowler's an old music buddy and Center for Spiritual Living and Landmark. And yeah, hi Jim. How you doing? I'm glad you're here. I know. Highway 17. So I've got a few more songs I'm going to do for you because we're going to move into Lucky. We're leaving Strange and Beautiful right now. And so Lucky I put out in 2008. So here, let me trade guitars with you. And I just showed you the artwork for Lucky. And yeah, here all right. So I'm going to do the titled track off of Lucky, and yeah. Oh, all right. And if you are just, that is the Guild guitar. The Guild is tuned to open D, and this is of course my regular tuning. Because I started going, when I got into the 2000s, I started writing in regular tuning. What are you doing? Doing some cameos there?
No, just getting a feel for the lens.
Yeah, trust me, you want me to be in tune. It's very hot here, so
I am sweltering.
It doesn't do well for strains. All right. This one's called Lucky. You've been talking change for a long, long time. I can see a burning ember about to come alive. About to come alive. About to come alive. And you are lucky. Life is turning out this way. Lucky. Things just seem to go your way. Lucky. I know you from afar. will never go that deep. But still I know your heart, and its every beat, and its every beat, and its every beat, and I am lucky. You are in my life this way. Lucky. Life keeps turning out this way. Lucky. Like springtime on a winter day. Lucky. Sometimes we talk a little, sometimes we talk a lot. But when there's troubled waters, I will be your rock. I will be your rock. I will be your rock. And we are lucky. Life is turning out this way. Lucky. Things just seem to go our way. Lucky. Like always knowing what to say. You are lucky, lucky. And we are lucky, lucky. We are lucky, lucky. We are lucky, lucky. All right. Very, very cool.
You got a couple of comments here.
All right. What do we got?
Well, let's see. Michael Ross wanted to know, how hot is it? And then Rick Cuevas said, Badoom Cha.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what he meant.
Well, if you go look at the thermometer on the Nest thermometer, it'll tell you how hot it is inside here.
We have somebody who appreciates science, because Kate Larson had said, Lou, what are you wearing? The answer is I'm wearing the periodic table on my t-shirt, and along the bottom it says, periodically, I'm sarcastic.
Ha ha ha.
I have no way of knowing what's going to show up. Does it show up? You'd have to come over. So here's the
Well, I'm kind of I'm like trapped in here because I have my headphones are plugged in, and I'm kind of stuck here. But yeah, if you want to know how hot it is, you can look at the Nest thermometer. I mean, my hands are sweating. I know that, and I'm gonna have to take a sip of wine.
Let's see. Here is. I'm trying to watch it. Oh, wait. Oh, no, I walked away.
Okay. All right, so we've
Too much
got
of a delay from the live to the Facebook.
we've got a couple of songs left. We're talking about Strange and no, we've moved on from Strange and Beautiful, and I've been doing some songs from Lucky, which was the 2008 release. I just did Lucky, and I'm gonna do my favorite song actually on the album is the opening song, and it's called "Hate to Cry." And I don't know how many of you knew that was my favorite song, but I love the message of it, and because can you silence your phone, please? Can you so that it's not.
That was one of your fans that is so excited that she keeps trying to call and text, not realizing that I am using the phone as a monitor, so I cannot pick up the phone and I cannot answer texts.
All right. So I want to tell this story about the song that I'm about to play. So "Hate to Cry" is it's the melancholy side of me. I don't like change. Who does like change, right? And
I like change.
I find it's very hard to when seasons change, or I think it's really more of when things end. That's the hardest thing. I love beginnings, but endings, there's always this sense of and even the lead up to it, you're going to miss it, that kind of stuff. So this song is very much about being in that place. It's a very reflective, melancholy state, and it perfectly says what I want to say. And as a songwriter, I'll have to say that some songs I feel better about than others, but this one, it says it for me. And I added a verse after this has been released. So a few years ago, actually, I added this verse, and because I just felt like I hadn't said all that I wanted to say, and I wanted some closure. And I had ended a relationship that I was in for 10 years after releasing this album, and this verse kind of struck me, or it came out as a way to really have closure on that and wrap it up as again another ending, because we don't like endings. So this is called "Hate to Cry." Check, 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 check. 2. Oh, no, that's right. Check. This is the one that I want. 2. Bear with me. Okay, since I have the new verse, The sun starts setting now before I get home. The summertime is coming to an end. We're taking down the hammock and putting up the chairs, while all of the good times, they still hang in the air. Well, the changing of seasons is always hard. It's not something that I do very well. It might take me an hour, it might take me a day, And even though I run from it, it gets me anyway. And I will pull through this. I always do. But sometimes I hate to cry in front of you. And I'm afraid that life is moving too fast, and that it's gonna leave me before I'm through. I guess that's why I hang on when the seasons pass, trying to find a way to make it last. But I will pull through this. I always do. But sometimes I hate to cry in front of you. And all these people moving in and out reminds me that it's always gonna change. You sign up for forever and you hold on tight, praying that the love won't go away. But I will pull through this. I always do. But I don't like breaking down because of you. And maybe this love won't last, but I'll get through. And so will you. It's what we have to do. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's again one of my favorite songs off of Lucky, and that one's called "Hate to Cry." I'm going to wrap it up with one last song, and so with everything going on in our country today, it's hard. In a way, it's kind of hard to just be, hey, let's have a concert and sing a song without being mindful of the anger and the hate and the just how much people are hurting in this country. And
the 400 years of systemic racism.
Yes, and this is not like this is anything new. I think that a lot of people
400 years part.
Yeah, a lot of people are waking up to the call, and I know I teach at a very, very progressive and also aware school, and there's been a lot of conversation around this, and we teach cultural responsive classroom teaching, which is being aware of all of the cultures in our classroom and teaching to that and breaking down some of the traditions that have maybe not been so inclusive. And so I've been a lot in that space, and I'm going to play a song. The last song off of Lucky I wrote after watching the movie Iron Jawed Angels. If you haven't seen it, it's a great movie. It's about the suffragette movement. Suffragette movement being the women marching for the vote to right, for the right to vote. So, you know, there are all kinds of oppressed groups in the country still, and even women still are, you know, don't have equal pay. So we have a long way to go, is what I'm saying. But this song, I have to preface it because I mentioned yellow stars and yellow roses, and those were their signs or their tokens of victory. So when they won, they threw the yellow stars in the sky. And on the movie, as the credits rolled, they're all throwing these yellow stars in the sky. The cinematography was beautiful. It was this blue sky and the yellow stars flying against them, and that's really what inspired this song. Lou, can you hand me my my guild? Because I'm going to play this on that. And the chorus is simply, "There's no turning back once you open that door." And that is so true. And we have so opened that door. That door has been open for a long time, and there is no turning back. We have a lot of work to do.
Well, it was the 19th Amendment of the Constitution.
Right. So... yellow stars falling against a blue sky. Well, they don't mean much today, but they sure meant everything in 1920. Yellow stars of victory, and yellow roses too. They were a sign the times were changing back in 1920. And there was no turning back once they opened that door. There was no turning back once they opened that door. Now what is brave and what is crazy? If making waves will give us voices, well, it wasn't neat, it wasn't easy, but then nothing was back in 1920. And there was no turning back once they opened that door. There was no turning back once they opened that door. There was no turning back once they opened that door. One man sitting in the White House could change so much back in 1920. So where are we now? It's still the same game, and we go on and fight our own wars, and there is no turning back once you open that door. There is no turning back once you open that door. There is no turning back once you open that door. There is no turning back once you open that door. Turning back.
Yay!
All right, my friends. I certainly appreciate you tuning in tonight and spending the evening with me and going down memory lane for me and memory lane for some of you that have been at some of the concerts or have some of the CDs. If you don't and you're new to this and you don't know much about me and you'd like to hear some of these, you can go to my website, www.amymyersmusic.com, or you can find me on Spotify, on iTunes. You can watch the videos of all of the shows I've been doing, including this one, well, not right now, but as soon as I get it uploaded to my YouTube channel, Amy Myers Videos, or you can scroll back on the Facebook. And feel free to share this with friends of yours that you think might enjoy it. And if you liked what you hear and you would like to leave a tip, tips are always appreciated. The information
From
is
anyone except for Rick Davis.
and Kate Larson is down there at the bottom at paypal.me/Amy Myers or venmo.com/Amy-Myers-26. And thank you, Lou, for helping out with the video and the commentary and all. And those interesting sound effects. Yes. All right, my friends. Are there any last... okay, no more sound effects. Any last goodbyes, any last comments that we need to address on our Facebook, from our Facebook friends?
Sorry, I'm just really tired. I've had some really long days.
Yes, any before we let these kind folks go?
Kate Larson says, "You're a treasure." Jim Fowler says, "Great song." Emil says, "Beautiful song."
Oh, thank you, Emil. Emil is a beautiful guitar player.
He really is. And a beautiful man.
Yes, he is. And a beautiful hairdresser as well.
Yes, he's beautiful and he brings beauty into the world.
All right. Well, I will go back and I love reading everybody's comments, so I'll go back and they make me smile, and I'll say hello to you in Facebook land.
Time to say goodnight, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are.
It is good night time.
Love.